In this video, we are going to continue to create our high school resume. You should have already completed the top section of your resume, which is the contact information. You should have a graphic on one side along with your first and last name that is capitalized, and it could be bold, or it could be a different color, or it could be a different font as long as the font is readable. The next line down needs to be your address, again with proper capitalization. Underneath that is your city with a comma, the state, and the zip code, again with proper capitalization. The next line down is your phone number, area code first, and then the rest of the number. And the last line is your appropriate email address. So what we're going to do down here in this section is just write the section headings, and then we'll fill them in one at a time over the next few days. So the section headings are objective, education, work and volunteer experience, skills, honors, awards, and school organizations. And then the last one is references. So go ahead and write out all of those titles into your high school resume, and then we will work on them one at a time. So we're going to leave objective for a different video because your objective changes according to the job that you're applying for. Education, however, is what we're going to start with today because that does not change according to the job that you're applying for. So first of all, I'm going to insert a table under this that has one row and two columns, and I'm going to drag this over so I have a little bit of space to write the date and then more space to write other information. So first you should put the date that you started high school, and if you're still attending, you should write to present. And I am going to bold this. And right now I'm going to decide that the body of my resume is all going to be the same size font. And I used 12 here, so I'm going to use 12 down here too, just to make sure things are consistent. Okay, now in this section next to it, I'm going to write the name of the high school, and where it's located. Whoops. And only the city and the state. You don't have to write the entire address. And the important part is the title of the school, so I'm going to highlight that section and bold that. Then on the next line down, I'm going to write graduation date, so that your potential employer knows that you are currently attending high school and that you will graduate eventually this year, 2021. Then if you have a really high GPA, it's a good idea to write that on there. So that's a signal to your potential employer that you're a really good student. But if you don't have a particularly high GPA, I would leave that line off. So I'm going to highlight this and make sure it's all size 12 font size. Then I'm going to make the heading match the font that I used for my name, which was called Brushed Caveat. Caveat Brush. And I'm going to make it bold. And all of my section headings, I'm going to maybe make them a hierarchy of size. So my name, I'll leave it 18, but my education, I'll maybe make it 14. And then everything else, I'm going to leave it 12. And I think this big space here looks awkward, so I'm going to backspace that. And now that this is the way that I want it, I'm going to change the table properties to white so that that looks nice and organized. And I may grab this column and move it over a little bit. So visually, it looks like the information is lined up with my name here at the top, and it looks very pleasing to the eye. Okay, I don't like that bold, and I am going to change it to 18. All right, I think that for my fonts, that looks pretty good. So eventually we will fill in these different sections, but that's it for the education section.